Lakeville, a natural resource management activity, provides students with a fun, interactive opportunity to learn about the challenges associated with making natural resource management decisions by asking the students to participate in the process. There are 3 complete sessions to the Lakeville unit, ending with a game show style activity. In this video, we are going to show you how to set up and deliver the last session, Lakeville the game. Everything you need to complete the activity is in your Lakeville kit, so let's get started.
Your Lakeville teacher kit comes with a Lakeville Quick Start Guide. Use it to follow along with this instructional video, a unit guide with lesson plans, citizen roll cards, organism roll cards, scorecards, organism magnets, a mini wheel of focus, big wheel not included, a classroom set of activity booklets, understanding invasive aquatic plants, costumes for the citizen advisory panel, and a large format habitat poster of Lakeville.
First, you need to find your Lakeville Quick Start. This will be your guide to a successful Lakeville activity. You then need to introduce the students to the main concepts of the Lakeville activity. The best way to introduce the main concepts of native, non-native, and invasive plants is by presenting Silent Invaders, a 25-minute video that is available on your Lakeville DVD. Introduce the chart that is on page 2 of your Quick Start. This chart defines native, non-native, and invasive plants and quantifies how many of each are present in your area. You will need about 15 minutes to set up. To speed up prep time, choose 12 critters and 6 citizen roles out of those that are available. Page 3 of your Quick Start has suggestions as to which ones you should choose. First, we need to set up the Lakeville ecosystem, represented by this habitat poster, and then display the critters you have chosen at the front of the room. We also need to pull the matching critter magnets from their case and have them easily available by the poster. Next, you want to set up the Citizen Advisory Panel. The 6 cards you have chosen for the students to role play need 6 desks or 1 large table for the students to sit at. Dive into the costume box and put a few options on the table for students. Also, place 1 set of scorecards at each citizen's seat. For an additional extension, include printed information on each selected critter for the panel. They can then fact-check the information the critters present and be informed voters. Another extension you can do is assign critter and citizen roles before the day of the activity and have the students work together to do background research. For younger students, they can work together to create costumes. Game day! Now it's time to play Lakeville. Step 1. Review the definitions of native, non-native, and invasive plants. Step 2. Introduce the activity. Step 3. Introduce the habitat poster. To pick the students who will role play on the Citizen Advisory Panel, you can choose at random or pull names out of a hat. Once the 6 citizens are chosen, have them be seated at the Citizen Advisory Panel. Have them put on their costumes and then read their card. There's a little quote on the back to kind of get them set into their role, and then there is a list of priorities. In one moment, each citizen will introduce themselves to the rest of the Lakeville community. The rest of the community needs to pay attention to these citizens so that they are aware of what each citizen's priorities are for Lakeville. So the rest of the class will become critters, but don't pass out the cards quite yet. First, go over the information found on the cards. Show the students a card, and that on the front is a picture of their plant or animal, and on the back is scientific information that indicates whether the critter is aquatic or terrestrial, native, non-native, or invasive, what it eats, what eats it. or if it has an environmental benefit or maybe causes an environmental harm to that ecosystem. Before starting, you may want to model a card for the class. See page 3 of your Quick Start for a sample script. For example, when I represent hydrilla, I say, "Hello, I am hydrilla. I am an aquatic, non-native, and I am invasive. I would like to live in Lakeville because, first of all, I provide habitat for ducks and fish. Nature lovers and anglers over there, that might be of interest to you. I also encourage duck and fish populations to inhabit local waters, and people travel from all over to hunt and fish in our beautiful state. When they come here, they have to spend money. Cha-ching, Mr. Politician. And then, once they get here, they're gonna have to eat. So, Mr. Farmer, you're gonna have to grow more food to feed these out-of-towners, and restaurant owner, it'll be good for your business." And if these people like Lakeville so much because they can do a lot of fishing and duck hunting, they might end up staying in Lakeville, and then therefore, developer, you might need to build some hotels. Have the class work in small groups and give them 3 to 5 minutes to develop their arguments on why they think they should be allowed to live in Lakeville. So once the critter is finished presenting, then he asks the citizen advisory panel if they have any questions. And this is when the game gets really exciting. This is when everybody on the panel has an opinion about what they want. And you'll see debate skills going back and forth and public speaking skills being brought to the forefront. And then you'll see even people on the panel arguing with each other because you'll see that they have conflicting jobs up there sometimes. So then they have to decide about what they're going to want for this critter. They make that decision by voting. And once they vote, they hold up scores between 1 and 10, 1 meaning they do not want it in the ecosystem, 10 meaning they would love to have that critter in the ecosystem. You'll add that up and that'll equal a score. And then that score equates to a management plan. And that management plan equates to how many critters they get to put in that ecosystem. We will keep track of those votes with the data score sheet. Fill in the letters across the top to present the citizens, and write the critter's name along the side, on the left column. See page 4 of your Quick Start for a sample. This is very exciting for the critter because they can tell whether or not they did a good job persuading 6 different personalities that their job or their role in the ecosystem is important. And you'll see them running up there and cheering and saying, "Yeah, I got a high score." It's fun.
Depending on how the information is presented to the students and how the information is perceived by the Citizen Advisory Panel, each time you play, Lakeville will look entirely different. To conclude the Lakeville activity, discuss the final habitat poster with your students. To get started, ask students how many native, non-native, and invasive organisms are now in Lakeville. How will the organisms they choose affect each other and their Lakeville environment? What management decisions will the citizens have to make in the future after the plants and animals they've chosen are established? You can also incorporate food or energy webs in the discussion by asking the students to identify their organism's role in each. End the discussion with ways students can get involved in their community to share what they have learned.
The most challenging part for me, being the restaurant owner, was trying to figure out how these plants and animals would help my restaurant.
The hardest part was to persuade the judges to let me live in Lakeville.
The game Lakeville, it's anywhere. Lakeville, USA, it's your backyard, it's your hometown. This game will get kids interested. It will show them what they need to learn about the ecosystem and just at their backyard.
So it only takes a matter of minutes to transform your classroom into an ecosystem.